Thank you, everyone, for being here. We're excited to start the inaugural Solution Spotlight series. If you're like me, you have trouble researching and finding out all the great solutions that are out there. And so that's kind of where the idea came from for this entire series. And we're piloting it with our wonderful sponsors that sponsored us for Nonprofit Dream in 2026. And Titan has graciously agreed to be our guinea pig and kick this off. And I am going to introduce Warren Ward with Titan, who is going to demo this morning. And I didn't pull up the question, Warren. Do you have the challenge statement that we put out on what we're trying to solve today?
Yes, I have it in my phone. I didn't. I thought you would have read it, but I will pull that up right now and graciously read what you said. So our donors are generous, but we struggle to keep them updated on the impact that their donations make.
Right. And so that's what you're going to show us today, what the solution is to keeping donors updated and how Titan can do that for us. So I'll let you have it.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Warren Ward. I'm an account executive here at Titan. Today, we're going to be discussing some challenges within the nonprofit space and how Titan solves for them. So one of the biggest challenges nonprofits face isn't really finding generous donors. It's keeping them connected to the impact that they are making. So donors want to know where their contributions are going and the differences that they're making. So keeping them updated often becomes a manual, time-consuming process. Teams end up relying on email, spreadsheets, and disconnected systems, spending more time on administrative instead of focusing more on the mission. So that's exactly what Titan helps to solve for. Built natively on Salesforce, Titan gives nonprofits a simple way to create secure portals where supporters can see, update, access information, complete forms, stay engaged through their journey. Every interaction writes directly back into Salesforce, automatically reducing that manual work, improving your data quality, and giving your team more time to focus on impact. And that's what matters instead of the actual management of the processes. So I could blab on and on and on about that, but instead, I'd rather just show you exactly what that looks like. So on the right, or on your screen right now, you'll see a portal. This is called Titan Trees. It is a simple example of how nonprofits can create a centralized donor experience, from making a donation to tracking the impact, accessing the updates, engaging through the organization, and through a single Salesforce connected portal. So as we go through it, think of it in the same way you would with maybe your experiences and how this could apply to your donors, your volunteers, beneficiaries, members, etc. So let's jump in, and we have questions at the end. So right now, we're looking at a public-facing website. If I'm a new donor, I can read all the information here. By the way, this entire platform was built on Titan without any code at all. So all the images you see, this was all drag and drop in the Titan Builder. So you can see we even have a Google Map integration. But essentially, what a donor or someone could do, they could learn about the organization, explore the impact being made, and decide to get involved, as you can see at the bottom here. If I'm an existing donor, and this is where things get interesting, instead of emailing or calling maybe a staff member, I simply log in to my secure portal, which is what we're going to do right now. So I log into my portal, and as you can see, instead of saying log in, a name now appears. And because Titan is connected directly to Salesforce, everything you see here can and is personalized to me or the person logging in. So I can, for example, I can view my profile, I can see my donation history, I can track my impacts, or track the impact of my contributions. I can download certificates, tax receipts, I can update my information, and this writes right back into Salesforce. And not only does Titan allow you to create a portal, the documents, we have a document generation piece as well. So I can upload my certificate, and if I want to make another donation, I can as well, all without someone on the other team or your team manually sending emails or updating records. So for example, if I want to say, well, I want to get involved and plant another tree, which who wouldn't want to do that, right? So we can go to Gafford Park, we can join. And if I decide to make another donation, I simply choose the campaign. I select the amount in the currency I want to choose. and this is a big number. I don't know if I would donate this much, but we're going to go with it. Today I'm rich. And if I proceed to pay, all of that for my donor is here. And this just makes the process simple. And all this information gets written back directly into Salesforce. So if I am, let's just say, a new brand supporter, I can register directly in the portal as well. So we can go to create a new account, and that would write right back into Salesforce as well. It's that simple. So and not to mention, there will be no duplicate of information. So any of the data entry here, or there's no manual admin for your team. All of this gets directly written back into Salesforce. So the key takeaway in this demo today is that tree planting is the example, but it's every interaction that happens in one seamless experience while keeping Salesforce as the source of truth. So instead of staff spending time on spreadsheets, sending emails to keep that information organized, Titan automates that process for you. So you can spend more time focusing on the actual mission and strengthening the relationships of donors, because nonprofits, not all of them, but a lot of them rely on the generosity of people. Hope that made sense. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer. Thank you.
So I will kick us off with a couple of questions, Warren. Just from my standpoint, I love that you can get your tax receipts here. That is perfect, right? So I invariably make donations, and my husband get ready to do our taxes, and he's like, "So do you have the receipts?" I'm like, "No." So
Yeah.
being able to go back and get that, when you need them, right, on your time, instead of when they might be sent to you by the nonprofit. So, but I saw document generation. Is that
Right.
is that part of Titan? I mean, it will create those documents.
Yeah. So the example that we gave here was just a certificate. But if you needed a tax receipt created, you could automate this to send it out to your client's email automatically if you wanted to. And if we got the certificate here, this is just the example of the document generation piece. So if you needed, for example, each person who plants trees, if they're over the age of 18, they're an adult. If they're under the age of 18 and they want to go plant trees somewhere, well, they would have to maybe have some sort of legal guardian go ahead and sign off for them. You could incorporate that into this portal as well, and Titan can create that document for you.
Great. And and last question, and then I'll let Akash. I know he's got some questions too. So how mobile friendly is this? And And when we were looking at the donation, one of my personal pet peeves, I'll donate to just about anybody that asks. But my thing is, if I have to get up off the couch, go find my debit card, I'm probably not going to make a donation. And I didn't see on your donation page like Apple Pay or Google Pay. Is that something that's integrated that could be there?
Yes, ma'am. So we have Stripe is our normal pay integration. So as I showed you, if we go to donate, that populated here, proceed to pay, but you can incorporate anything that you want: Google Pay, Apple Pay, whatever payment integration you'd like. We can work with it. And in terms of it being mobile friendly, the Titan Builder, so not this page. This page was built on the Titan Builder, but the Titan Builder, you can change the layout to a phone, iPad, desktop, so it works on any platform.
Great, thank you. Akash, did you have questions?
Yeah, so I saw the document generation thing. I also want to ask if there is a possibility if I have to sign a contract with a nonprofit where I am applying for grants and the grant application has been approved.
Yep.
Is there a possibility I can also do the digital signature for those documents?
Yes, that would be a whole other demo. I don't think we have time for all of that today, but I absolutely, you can create a document to have that signature, and that signature would get pushed not only to the client, but back into Salesforce as well. Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if I'm not mistaken, when I did go to my account and we upload the certificate, you can see there is a signature at the bottom. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But we would incorporate that if needed. You definitely have, so we do forms, portals, see, there it is right there. There's a signature.
Yes.
So that is a part of it. Absolutely.
Sure.
Great question, Akash. Anybody else have questions or something specific to your organization that you're looking to solve? Everybody's really quiet.
have a question, I guess. Would this be something that everyone on the call could see potentially as beneficial, or something that could help their nonprofit? Thumbs up, thumbs down, yes, no.
Yeah, I think it is basically that because when we look at the Salesforce sites or digital experience site, uh, I that was again one of the questions that I want to ask. That does it consume the community licenses for creating these portals?
Does it what? Sorry.
Does it use the community license?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you build out a project on Titan, you have the option in the builder to use the Salesforce communities. You can embed it in an already existing website because it is a no-code platform. So you can embed it in a website. You can launch it as its own individual website, or you can use the Salesforce communities. That's an option in the Titan builder. Absolutely.
This is amazing because a few of the nonprofits that I've worked with, they really wanted it to be on their website instead of having a different link where people used to navigate. So
Yes.
that's great feature.
How much time do we have, Melissa?
So we've still got another 5-10 minutes.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me stop sharing this, and we'll go to this. So this is our Titan builder, and this is exactly how we would build this website here. So we'll go to new project, and we will just say nonprofit, if I can spell correctly. And what you'll notice, first and foremost, the AI is on the left. So if you want to build a page or a portal or whatever you're looking to create, you can build that here. Secondarily, to Melissa's question, in terms of the actual layout, you can see it can turn to a laptop, tablet, mobile. You can change, it has a responsive AI that can change the layout. And we can create pretty much anything. So there's customizable strips here, and there is a genie that we incorporate. So in terms of survey, for example, if I want to find out a client survey after, I just drag that into the screen. If I need the Google map that you saw, the payment integration, a barcode, the world is yours, including the stepper or anything like that. If you need multiple steps on a page, charts, tables, media, so images, YouTube, Vimeo, any input, shape, text, button, great. We incorporate the genie, and this is how we create a connection between Titan and Salesforce. So if you're not a developer or a coder or anything, which I'm not, my background is not in this at all, but if I can learn it, I believe anybody can. So we'll choose a column. We'll pick one for our form. We'll choose an action. We want to create. Create just means we're going to push the data from Titan to Salesforce. Read just means the opposite of that. So when you saw the login earlier today, that's what we did. We rendered the person from Salesforce, Ben, I believe the name was, to the actual portal. And we choose our objects. These can be custom or standard, whatever is in your Salesforce org. And we'll just pick a contact because we want to know who is signing up for our nonprofit. And we choose our field. So last name would be mandatory. We'll say first name. We'll go with email. I know Marielle's seen this already. We add this to the page, and in a few clicks, there is your page, your sign up page. And if we preview that, this is ready to go. I can actually fill this in. Now, where things get interesting is if I publish this now, to your question, Akash, we'll just call this version 1. We can commit, and then you will see there's as its own website. Here's the iframe. So this is what you would pay a developer to actually build. We can just copy that. And to your question, embed it, Salesforce and Salesforce community. So we can just click this, copy it, and incorporate that wherever we'd like. And that took 2 minutes. And it's not pretty, obviously, but someone with, you can pretty much do anything you'd like. And then we can take this and incorporate the document generation piece and everything else in it. Just wanted to show you what that would look like and how simplistic it is, to build.
That's wonderful. I did think of one more question, Warren, when you were saying that, creating a contact, because you mentioned that it did not create duplicates. And
no,
that is a huge challenge in my book, is you wind up with 1 million duplicate contacts, because like if you're like me, you have 15 different emails.
That's right.
So
that's Right.
You wind up in there 15 times with each different email. So how does Titan, is there a workflow somewhere in Titan or a flow that does the identity resolution, or how does that work?
So that would be great question. So that would be the contact ID. So you would assign a contact ID or a record ID inside of Salesforce to the person logging in, and you can choose any which way you want to do that. So to turn on, for example, user access. So when I was here and we see Ben Murphy's name, if I log out and I have to go, oh no, I'm not sharing the screen anymore. Anyway, sorry. When I was showing you the trees example, so I'll just share that real quick. Actually, I'll just share the window. That way everyone can see. Perfect. So when I was here, we went to log in and I had to type in Titan trees in order to log in here. And then we saw the name.
Right.
I'm here, we can turn on what's called Smart V. And to your point, we pick a contact to know how we want to identify who's logging into the portal. You can see the first thing that appears here is the contact ID. So that's how we give them a unique identifier to match that email. So if you change your email, they'll change the contact ID. We say email for them to log in. And before, when I pressed preview, it automatically appeared the page where I can log in. If we want to change a condition, so if we say, well, I have donors that live in Atlanta, but I only want the donors in Detroit to be able to access this portal because this is specific to them. So they're only planting trees there. You can add a condition that can go ahead and essentially say, well, only people in Detroit can access this because this is for them. So you can have multiple different organizations doing different things, and all that information without any duplicates, without any manual processes, gets written back into Salesforce. We can decide how we want to authenticate this person. So we can say 2FA. We can incorporate a profile page or a registration page, which is important because if they don't have a record inside of Salesforce, this is where they would create one. We can add parameters or access controls. We generate the Smart V, we save it, and we go to preview, and now I'm asked to log in. So if I set a condition to say, hey, anyone in Detroit, this portal's for you, this is how you would go ahead and create that. That way, when we go back to the trees and we see, we only want people who live in Detroit. So Ben Murphy lives in Detroit and someone else lives in Atlanta, you would have different portals for them based on that contact ID.
Nice.
So that's how we remove the duplicates, and it can go further and further than that as well.
Excellent. And we're at our just about at our 20 minutes. Anybody have any other questions? I mean, if you can't come off, you're welcome to come off mute. Go ahead, Akash.
Yeah. So another question, Warren, that I have is, it works well with the context. So I just want to have a question related to whether it is compatible with both the data structures in NPSP as well as NPC.
Yep.
Is it compatible to both?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And again, the account model is different in both. The NPSP uses the household accounts, while in NPC it is the person accounts.
Yep. So you can do account, you can do contact account. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect.
Great question.
That is, because we're trying to ascertain right now what percentage of Salesforce nonprofits are still using Nonprofit Success Pack.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I'm seeing, we're looking at probably 65 to 80% are still using Nonprofit Success Pack. So there's, even though it's not as pushed, I guess, as it used to be, there's still a lot of folks out there looking for solutions, that work with Nonprofit Success Pack. So appreciate knowing that. Good question, Akash. Yeah. Anybody else before we wrap up today's inaugural Solution Spotlight? And then next week, we will have Pat McClellan and Proton 7. Super excited to see his product. Anyone else? Questions, thoughts? Great. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, Warren, so very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. I'm thrilled. That's the first time I have actually seen Titan, believe it or not.
Yeah. I feel like we've spoken so much about it, so I'm glad you could see.
Exactly.
I believe Jim has a question.
Yeah, Jim, do you have a question?
Maybe not.
Nope, I just clicked the wrong button. Sorry.
That's okay. That's
I
okay.
was going to give a clap or a thumbs up and I hit the hand.
That's okay. Great. Thank you so much. And we will see you all again soon.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the time. Have a good one. If anyone wants to connect further or ask any other questions, you can get my contact from Melissa, or you can